Well, let's take a look at this thing that just came up in my feed here. Largest study to date shows how COVID vaccines affect periods. This is for all you women out there. Grid 7, let's take a look at what's going on here. Nearly half of the participants in a recent study who were menstruating regularly at the time of the survey reported heavier bleeding during their periods after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. Others who did not typically menstruate, including transgender men, people on long-acting contraceptives, and postmenopausal women, also experienced unusual bleeding. Apparently this is something some women have been saying for a while now, and they were told it's just misinformation. But the new study, the largest to date, expands on research that has highlighted the temporary effects of COVID-19 vaccines on menstrual cycles, but until now focused primarily on cisgender women who menstruate. Gotta add the cisgender and transgender and all that stuff, but anyways. Although the vaccines have largely prevented deaths and severe disease with a few reported side effects, many medical health experts initially brushed aside concerns when women and gender-diverse people started reporting erratic menstrual cycles after receiving their shots. Yeah, you can't talk bad about the vaccine. That was something that has been around. You can't do it. You're brushed aside. But now it looks like they have a study and are supporting other studies, and harder to brush it aside now. To get a better sense of these post-vaccination experiences, researchers at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis distributed an online survey in April 2021 to thousands of people across the globe. After 3 months, the researchers collected and analyzed more than 39,000 responses from individuals between the ages of 18 and 80 about their menstrual cycles. All the survey respondents had been fully vaccinated with the Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson vaccines, or another that had been approved outside the United States. And to the best of their knowledge, the participants had not contracted COVID-19 before getting the vaccine. The research published Friday in the journal Science Advances shows that 42% of people with regular menstrual cycles have experienced heavier bleeding after the vaccination. 44% reported no change, and apparently 14% reported lighter periods. So basically, you have 56% people who experienced a change. Additionally, 39% of respondents on the gender-affirming hormone treatments, 71% of people on long-acting contraceptives, and 66% of postmenstrual menopausal women experienced breakthrough bleeding after one or both of their shots. And I think it's important that people know this can happen, so they're not scared, they're not shocked, and they're not caught without supplies. Seems like there was a little thing about tampons or something like that being there was starting to be a shortage there. Coincidence? Anyways, Lee cautioned, however, that the study does not compare the results with a control group of people who did not get vaccinated. And it's possible that people who observed changes in their cycles after vaccination may have been more likely to participate in the survey. Still, the findings line up with smaller studies that have reported menstrual changes after vaccination with more robust controls. Let's just think about that one here. Because it's not doing what they want, so that they're like, we're not sure, there's no controls, even though smaller ones did have better controls and it lined up with that one. We still don't want to think about it. Importantly, the new study also found that some demographics may be more likely to experience menstrual changes, and the study may help them be better prepared. Lee said a heavier menstrual flow was more likely for those who were older, for instance. Survey respondents who used hormonal contraception, had been pregnant in the past, or had been diagnosed with a reproductive condition, were more likely to experience heavier bleeding. People who were Hispanic or Latino tended to report heavier bleeding. Racist? the vaccine is racist. Anyways. And people who experienced other side effects of the vaccine, like fever or fatigue, also had a higher chance of experiencing erratic periods. Postmenopausal women who were slightly younger, around an average age of 60, were more likely to experience breakthrough bleeding after the vaccine than those who were older. But the type of vaccine postmenopausal women received, whether they had other side effects like a fever or whether or not they had a past pregnancy, did not seem to have an effect on their bleeding. Why do these changes occur? Here come the excuses. Some level of variation in the menstruation. The number of days you bleed, the heaviness of your flow, it's normal. It's just a normal thing. Sometimes you're heavier, sometimes you're not. It's not the vaccine. Our menstrual cycles are not perfect clocks. How about hormones by the hypothalamus or the ovaries? Now, they can affect both internal and external factors. They're affected by both internal and external factors. How about stress and illness, weight loss or gain, calorie restriction, intense exercise? Can all change the patterns of menstruation. And just continues with the things. In her research, Eldman found that some women's periods came a day or two later than usual after they got vaccination against the coronavirus, but these changes were temporary. Menstruation tended to return to normal after 1 or 2 cycles. Well, after basically 1 or 2 months, and that when the protection starts waning as well. If you experience any new or unusual patterns in bleeding, please take note. The menstrual cycle can be thought of as another vital sign, just like your body temperature or blood pressure, that provides clues about your health. Now think about that. Now they're sitting there, you need to be aware of it and all this other type of stuff. Meanwhile, up here they were saying, it's normal. So which is it? Normal? Not normal? A significant change in menstrual cycle interval or bleeding profile warrants further investigation to be sure there's not an underlying endocrinologic, hematologic, or atomic cause. Breakthrough bleeding in people who no longer normally menstruate, for example, may be a warning sign of cerebral, ovarian, or some other a cancer. Yeah, no. Got all this type of stuff, no, but it's normal. Think about it. No, they're saying it's normal, but adding all this type of stuff. Should you get vaccinated at a certain time in your cycle? Experts agree that the chaos COVID-19 can cause throughout your body, including potentially lingering effects, is far worse than any side effect caused by the vaccination against the disease. People who have previously gotten a fever after a shot may plan their next dose on a day when they will not have to go into work. But you should not let temporary menstrual changes prevent you from getting fully vaccinated or boosted. Since cases are on the rise again, delaying vaccination for 2 weeks or longer may significantly increase your risk of getting COVID-19. Still, it's important to track your body's response to vaccination, and public health officials should acknowledge concerns about menstrual cycle variations in addition to warning people of the risk of getting COVID-19. The increased transparency around the menstrual changes or other side effects of the vaccine could also have other benefits, reducing people's vaccine hesitancy. Now, if you're telling... the entire article here just confuses me. In one point they're going, it's normal, and another point they're sitting there going, well, like this one, it provides clues about your health. Now, you need to listen to that. Now, which one is it? Normal, or you need to be worried about it? And none of this actually, no, there actually is a cause and effect here that is being confirmed. And yet they're not willing to look into why the vaccine is causing this. That they don't want to look at that part because they've been telling women for apparently maybe about a year or so that if you're having an effect of the period, you're just spreading misinformation. And now they're coming out and saying, maybe it is doing something, but don't worry about it. So I just, to me, this isn't showing good news for the vaccine. No, they're not really being transparent yet. They're just kind of saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's normal. Which, to me, it's not normal. I don't think it should be doing that to women's periods, but I don't know. You let me know. You think this is normal? Not normal? Let me know. Grid 7. I'm on YouTube. Come on over to Rumble, and I'll see you next video.